Local history, local culture, local events, your community. This is the Joe Kelly Show.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. We're back in the studio after a long hiatus due to the virus, but we're back, and we're going to be doing a new series of shows. And our first guest back is Father Joseph Salerno. He is the pastor of Our Lady of Lourdes, 2222 Genesee Street, and also of Our Lady of the Rosary on Burstone Road. And Father, it's good to see you.
Good seeing you, Joe.
Thank you. You have the dubious distinction of being the first guest back after this long hiatus. We haven't done a show since February, a live show since February, but we're happy to be back. We're happy to have you here. Tell me, what's it been like for you? You've got two parishes to worry about. You've got a lot of people at both parishes. This has to have been, well, how would you characterize this?
A rather unique experience, to say the least.
Yeah.
It certainly has had its own stress factors, but I've been delightfully surprised at how well people have responded to whatever we have asked of them. As you are probably well aware, our churches have been totally closed down since mid-March, and we are slowly reopening. In fact, this weekend will be the very first weekend that we will celebrate weekend masses or liturgies, and those will take place on the campus of Our Lady of Lourdes Church, simply because the building will accommodate a larger number of people. So we'll have a mass at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at Our Lady of Lourdes on Saturday, and one mass on Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. And we want to just slowly re-enter and make sure that the environment is safe and sanitized, and for all who choose to come to Mass. Our bishop has dispensed from that obligation, however, so we're going to do our best. And if people do choose to come to Mass at Lourdes this weekend, you have to register via our Facebook page, and that's simply because we don't want to turn people away at the door. We have a maximum capacity of about 200 people for every liturgy.
And I'm a parishioner up there, and I'm getting these emails that you're sending out to your parish. It holds, what does Lourdes hold, about 1,000 people?
It can hold 900 to 1,000, the physical building, and we can now operate at 25% capacity. So we're saying roughly 200 people. It might be a little more than that, but in that ballpark.
And we're in the studio. You're on one side of the studio. I'm on the other side of the
Yes.
studio because of this virus. What's it going to be like at Lourdes?
We're going to have to observe the same, both government and diocesan guidelines. We have to observe social distancing. So we have to sit 6 feet apart from each other. We have to wear masks that I think all of us have become somewhat accustomed to at this point. We're going to probably go as far as have assigned seating so that we know who is sitting in what section of the church. Should, in the weeks ahead, someone get sick, we would want to know who that person is, where they were seated in the church, and how it might affect others. So there's going to be things that we're not accustomed to, but I think we'll easily adapt to. And again, just at morning mass today, for the first time, we had about 25 to 30 people, and everyone followed the guidelines, and things went very smoothly.
I went to the bank the other day for the first time in the lobby, and they took my temperature before they let me into the bank lobby. Is that going to happen?
No, but we are going to ask people to take their temperature before they choose to come to church. And if they are running a temperature, to please stay home, or any other symptom of sickness, whether it be of the virus or anything else, to please remain at home out of consideration for others.
And what about your other parish, Our Lady of the Rosary?
Well, right now, we're coming together as two communities at one location. Hopefully, things can slowly resume to what is normal, but we have to we're choosing the larger building, and that was the choice of a joint committee between the two parishes, simply because the Lord's campus can accommodate more people than the Rosary campus can. But hopefully, eventually, we'll resume to what is our normal, quote unquote, whatever our new normal is going to be, and we'll keep evaluating as we go along.
You know, one of the things that I've noticed for a long time, being a parishioner at Lourdes, is that the people who assist you with the Mass, there are hand sanitizers at the, and this has been going on for a long time. This is not
Correct.
to the, and I've always liked that. I've always liked seeing that being done. So talk about those kinds of things.
Well, again, while we'll have one entrance into the church, there are hand sanitizers at every entrance and exit in the building at Lourdes. And we ask people to use those hand sanitizers regularly and generously. They're available to people as they leave the church building, and you can exit, I believe, by any door of the church. And we're also asking people, our Eucharistic ministers, I as a celebrant will be sanitizing my hands before the distribution of communion, after the distribution of communion. And if people can bring small containers of hand sanitizer with them, we encourage them to do the same, that both before and after they receive communion, to sanitize their hands.
I've done the same thing for years, Father. I brought a little small bottle of sanitizer with me to church every Sunday. What about the wafer? You're not going to be getting a wafer anymore, will you?
You will be. You won't be receiving communion under the form of consecrated wine or sharing from a common cup, but you will be receiving the host. We strongly, strongly, strongly encourage people to receive the Eucharist or that consecrated host in their hands and then communicate themselves. We as ministers of the Eucharist, believe it or not, will probably be using tongs and picking that up and placing the host in people's hands with tongs, so that, again, there's no touch involved between the minister of the Eucharist and the communicant themselves.
One of the things that is a part of summer for me and a lot of people is that bazaar that you do up at Our Lady of Lourdes. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about that, what's going to be done with the bazaar. Father Joseph Salerno is our guest. Short break, right back.